Hello, my creative friends. This is Serena. Thanks for joining me today on my YouTube channel. And today I am going to continue with the Daniel Smith Extra Fine Watercolor 266 dot card set. And this is going to be page 2. We're getting into the blues and the greens. We are still using our Fabriano Artistico cold pressed 300 GSM paper. And it has that little bit of a rough finish. It's 100% cotton, but it's perfect for this. So let's go ahead, and what I'll do is put the dot card or the sheet that I've made closer in view, and I will dot some of the dots with water to soften them up and get started, and we'll get going. Alright, so let's start. We start with the wisteria color on the upper left. This is a very, very pale color, but very nice. Let me get that a little bit wetter. I just wet the dots so they're not activated quite yet. But look at that beautiful color. That would be nice if you do florals. I could see that. You could also see that in landscape skies. Sometimes when you have different colors that the sky changes toward evening. Okay, this is ultramarine red. That's interesting color. Looks more purple than red, but that's what they call it. Not very saturated. Not a very saturated color. Hope you can hear me okay with all the rain going on. Yeah, that's as much as I'm going to get it. It's a very pale color. This is Rose of Ultramarine. Okay, now there is a more saturated color. Very nice. Quinacridone Purple is the next one. The one thing I'm surprised they don't have on here is the color mixture, or what these are made of. I mean, they can't all be pure colors. They are, I'm sure, mixtures of colors. Some of them are. Here's Imperial Purple. Oh, that's a beautiful one. I wonder if that is Fugitive. Let's take a look. That they do give you. They do give you the light fastness information on here. And that is number 1. No, that's excellent. As they listed, that's 100 plus years. So if you paint something with this, I don't think we'll be around to see it fade. That's the way they're wanting us to think of it, I guess. Purpurite Genuine. It's got a little brownish to it. Okay, Ultramarine Violet is the next. Oh, that's a little bit too watery. It's hard to judge the water I'm putting on these dot cards because they're dark. So I can't quite see how much I've given them. That's not very saturated, but it is what it is. Amethyst Genuine. And it could be, bear with me because it could be a kind of a color that once it's dry, it does not re-wet very well. So it may be saturated, but it just doesn't re-wet because it's a dot card. So I don't want to, say anything bad about the color because I don't know for sure. But as far as the dot card, it's not activating very easily for that one. This one is Carbazole Violet. Carbazole Violet, I don't know. That's a nice rich color. Very dark. Nice. Then we have a Cobalt Blue Violet. I almost touched the page with nothing on it. That would not have been very helpful, will it? Would it have been? Wow, you can see that cobalt kind of blue in there, that blue violet cobalt look. And this one I've heard a lot of people say they want to get this one. Very famous, kind of like titanium buff. Everybody talks about it, and Moonglow has I think like a dual sheen to it. It's got like 2 colors to it or so. It doesn't look so great there for some reason. I don't know why. What is NR? Doesn't say. It says 1. Oh, not rated by ASTM. So because this tends to be, I think, their own personal formula. So it's not a standard color that all companies would have. I think it's their own. Here's Shadow Violet. Wow, that's like almost like a gray. That's not even like a Payne's gray. It's just like a gray. It doesn't. I would think it'd have like like Payne's gray is a little bluish. Sometimes some formulas are bluish. That one I would think would be violet since it says Shadow Violet, but I don't see any violet in there. Now this one is, oh my goodness, Sugalite, probably Sugalite, genuine. This is derived from probably minerals, of course. It's got a shine to it, certainly does, or at least it looks like it does, and fades out into kind of a grayish. Kyanite, genuine. A little more blue to it. That's kind of a pretty color. That's nice. Indigo. Here comes a nice deep color. I'm guessing it's going to be deep. Yes. That's almost like a Payne's gray in some companies' color scheme. Schmenka has a Payne's gray that's similar to that. I like their Payne's gray. It's got like a darkish blue to it. This one is Mayan Dark Blue. And if you watched my last video where the swatch dot card had several Mayan colors, I mentioned that I've tried Mayan colors through the Turner brand, and I wasn't very impressed with it because they seemed very gel-like. So I didn't care for that. I'm kind of prejudiced against anything that says it's a Mayan color right off the bat because of my experience with that, and I really shouldn't be that way. I should test each one as it is. All right, in Danperone Blue. Let's see what we're getting here. That is a very rich looking color. Look at that. Oh, I want to see how this fades out. Wipe it off a little bit and get some water on this. Not too much, but see how that comes out. Oh, almost like an ultramarine. That's very nice. Now this one is going to be Sodalite Genuine. Let's see what it looks like here. I'm afraid with the rain, my light is fading here. I'm sorry about that. I hope we're still picking this up. That's not good if we're not. I'm noticing the light's getting a little dark. That's nice. I like that one. Let's see here. Lapis Lazuli Genuine. Oh my. That's a very pale color. Of course it is probably very expensive. It's a mineral derived. French ultramarine. This has to be like really bright. Yeah, you need your glasses for this one. Your sunglasses. I want to see how that fades out there. A little bit there. Okay. That's French ultramarine, and then here is ultramarine blue. The dot card has some information on it. I hope you can still hear me. With some QR codes that invite you to use your iPhone to find out answers to your questions. If you have questions like, and they use an example, what's the difference between French ultramarine and ultramarine blue? I would like to know too, but since I don't have an iPhone, I couldn't check the QR code and find the answer. So, I mean, I can see the difference in color. It doesn't matter much to me if there's like a difference in formula or the history of one came from, you know, some famous person using one versus the other. It doesn't matter to me. I go for the color. I want to see what it looks like. Okay, the next one, that was cobalt blue I just did. Here is phthalo blue, and this is the green shade. This is the one I like better, green shade. Look at that. These are so saturated. You really have to watch what you're doing with these. I believe these are staining too. So just be very careful if you're using this on your painting that you don't, you know, go over somewhere else with it on your brush and it drops, because you're never going to get that off. That is a really beautiful, beautiful color, but it does have its downside. Here's lavender. And in fact, what do they give phthalo blue as a, I wonder if they give it a permanent rating. It's 1 for an M. So it says non-staining. Wow, really? Huh. Oh no, I'm sorry. 1 is excellent light fastness. 4 is highly staining. So it is highly staining. So it was 1,4 and N, which is non-granulating. Okay, we knew that. King's Royal Blue is the next one. Let's see what we have on that. That is kind of like a cobalt too. I've never really heard of that otherwise, except for in the Daniel Smith range. Might be a color I'm just not familiar with. Oh my goodness, it's very noisy here in the rain. I hope this is coming out, because I really can't redo this. This is Verditer Blue. Verditer Blue. That's a nice color. It's kind of like a phthalo blue green shade, but less green. Less leaning to one or the other. That is a little bit too much water. Okay, phthalo blue red shade. Let's see what we've got here. Again, this one's going to be staining. So just be careful how you use it. Use it sparingly. Just going to drag it over there and let it do its thing. Let it flow by itself. Look how beautifully that flows. I have heard that the Daniel Smith colors have a beautiful, distinctive flow to them when they are mixing. There's nothing like it. So unfortunately, there's another thing to get us all hooked, which I don't need to do. I say that, and here I am, you know, playing with the dot card. Of course. What else? Alright, Mayan Blue Genuine is the next one. That was Prussian Blue. Here comes Mayan Blue Genuine. That is a very distinctive look. Again, this one's not gel-like, but it's very pale. It doesn't seem to have a lot of pigment to it. It's not very deep. Alright, that was Mayan Blue. Here comes Cerulean Blue, color we're mostly all familiar with. That's got to be darker than that. I know it must. Can't be just that. Well, I don't know. That's all I'm getting out of it. Pretty color, but oh, I better grab the paper. I can see what's happening with the wind. Now this one, did I do these yet? No, I didn't dot these yet. I'm going to go ahead and dot them. This one is cerulean blue, and it says CHRM, period. I don't know what that stands for, but I will go ahead and print it underneath so that you all know what that means. But let me move the paper, and I will go ahead and dot the paper, the dot cards, with water to release the pigment a little bit more, and I'll be right back. Alright, as promised, I am back. I wet the dot cards, but I have no further inkling what the CHRM is for. Certainly I will look that up, and I will print it on here somewhere so that you can see what it means, because I have no clue. But I found, there's several other things that I have found like that, and I looked them up, I was able to find them. I just didn't realize I missed that one. So that is cerulean blue, CHRM. This one is that's a beautiful color. This one is manganese blue hue. That is quite, wow, that's a nice color too. I think I put a little too much water on it, and I'm not getting a lot of color. It is a darker color, I think. My bad. I don't know how I'm going to get that off of there and get some more of the color. Let's see, because I want to give you a good idea of what this is. Well, now I've got some good opaque color on there, but it's not giving me much more on the page. So I guess that is what it is. Alright, now we're going to go to phthalo blue turquoise. We seem to be getting into some of the colors that I really like. I love the blue. Look at that. Okay, so this is one of those colors that is a must-have in my palette. Okay, there's that. Alright, we're going to skip over that comment. You pretend you didn't hear that. Cobalt blue, or cobalt teal blue. That is another one. Look at that. Reminds me of tropical waters. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Alright. We have to have some control here. Phthalo turquoise is going to be our next one. Oh my goodness. What are they doing to me? I know half of you out there are looking at these colors and drooling as well. You all are. Alright. This is Kingman Green. I had a Kingman on the other page that I just did last video. Or part 2 anyway, which was page 1. Part 2 was page 1. I'm confusing everybody with doing the pages kind of backwards. I started with 5, and then I started with 1 and 2. Okay, I hope you can hear me. This is ultramarine turquoise. Oh, there is another color that is a must-have. Oh dear. Now this one was called SB Turquoise Genuine. And I had to look it up because I didn't know what SB stood for. Apparently it is Sleeping Beauty, Arizona. There is a place in Arizona where they get this mineral, I suppose, and that's what it is. Now the next one is Cobalt Turquoise. Thank goodness for the internet, because I would not know what SB standard for. Oh, I did it again. Stood for. I don't know where I'm getting standard for. Alright. Amazonite Genuine. I said that one like I knew exactly what it was. It could be Amazonite. And I just made a fool of myself. So, whatever it's called, It is a pretty color, kind of like a phthalo green. Here comes a Blue Apatite Genuine. That's very dark. I want to see if I can get some water in there and not water it down, but get some of that over here so we can see what it's doing. It looks like it's going to be a granulating color too. A little bit. Let's see. Blue Apatite Genuine. That is 1,1 and Y. Granulation, yes, in varying degrees, it says. Okay, so my guess was right. This is where using a cold press paper to test these on is helpful, because the granulation will, of course, make its way into the grooves. If you have a hot press paper, you're not going to see that, or not as well. This one is Lunar Blue. Now we're going to the Cobalt Green Pale. Now that is very pale. Let me see if I can get more color on that. No, that reminds me of the Mayan colors in Turner, where they're kind of gel-like and they don't really give you a lot of saturation, but that's what it is. Here's Fuchsite, yes, that's Fuchsite Genuine. That looks like it looks like it is iridescent, but they don't say it is. Viridian is the next one. This is going to be a very dark one, or saturated. Let's see if I can get that a little more, because I know it is. There we go. Oh my goodness, it's just pouring outside. A moment ago, before it started breaking loose, I saw a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, but a few hummingbirds on the flowering comfrey. And they have since wisely taken shelter, and I can't videotape them anymore. Okay, Diopside Genuine. Some of these I've just never heard of, and I don't know what to expect when I swatch them out. So you're seeing them just the same as I am. There we go. Then the next one is Phthalo Green Blue Shade. Very saturated color. Again, staining, but very beautiful. Whoops, I got a big glob of that on there. See if I can put that back on the tester and use it another time. Why not? Okay, now I have to see if I can get that to spread out a little so you can see what the variation is. That's a nice range there. Isn't that beautiful? Here's Cascade Green. Kind of like a fur kind of green. I think they had one like this in the gouache. Here is Jadeite Genuine. That one's not seeming to want to dissolve very well. Let's see what we've got here. If I could get a little more water on that, we could see what the color is without too much saturation. So that's a nice one. Let's see if I can blend that a little better. Doesn't seem to want to. Okay, but that's a pretty color. Cobalt Green is going to be our next one. We're working our way down. That one seems a little bit opaque, like it's got some white in it. Cobalt Green. And then we've got a Spring Green. This one's very bright. Oh yeah, very bright. You know, with the bright ones though, you can always, mute them down a little bit with another color. and they're very handy for landscapes. Permanent green light is our next one. I don't seem to need very much of these to give us an idea of the range you can get with this paint. Goes from very dark to very light. I'm trying to get that little blotch out of there, whatever that was. Okay, phthalo green yellow shade. Let's see what that is. There we go. That's nice. Permanent green. This is going to be very saturated. Almost like a crayon green, you know, like the old Crayola green that you got in the package. There we go. Now we're on the last page here. Here we go with phthalo green yellow shade. Another strong color. A little bit of light water in that. Well, that didn't rinse out very much, did it? Well, it's staining, but it also stays on your brush. Okay, let's see if I can do a little better with that. There we go. Just a little bit so I can see the range. This is Hooker's green. Ooh, look at that. That is a bright color. That's kind of nice for landscapes. I like that. Look at that. The dark version of May green. Next one we have is sap green. I like all these natural looking colors. Landscape colors is what I should say. Look at the range on that. That's very nice. That's a very nice. I like that one. Okay, and we have Serpentine Genuine. Let's see how that fades off quite nicely. That's nice, like a landscape too. Landscape color. Then we have Chromium Green Oxide. Oh, as many different colors as they've got here. I can't wait to get to the browns. All the browns and the earth tones. Oh my goodness. That is going to be nice. You're going to have to restrain me for that. I'm going to get carried away. Okay, the last one, that was Chromium Oxide Green. And this one is Green Apatite Genuine. Let's see what we get there. There's a nice color. A little dark, so not too dark for a color, but dark in that I can't see the beauty of the color because it's just so saturated. That's got a nice range there. Look at that. I'm trying to get it a little more graduated there, so it's not dark to light right away. Let me see if I can pick up some of that. Not easily. There we go, a little bit. Now I made it worse. All right, it'll blend in there if I leave it alone and stop fussing with it. But wow, what a color range. And again, this is, I want to be careful because it's all wet. This is the Daniel Smith page 2 of the 266 dot card series. So I'll show you that. Hopefully you're seeing all of it there. Okay, and then we'll take a look at these. Oh, look at the colors. Yeah, this is not good for me. Oh, I'm not getting all of them in. I'm going to have to move it up slowly here so you can see them. Maybe I can get it a little closer. If it can focus, there we go. That might be better. Look at that rose of ultramarine and the quinacridone purple. Oh, you're going to have to tell me what your favorite colors are, because maybe I missed one. No. No, no, no. We're not doing this. And again, I will show you, hopefully, if I haven't already, what that missing word is there. I don't know what that is. I'm very curious now, and I've got to find out what it is. But beautiful, beautiful range of colors. So I'll put that, what is that? The cerulean blue something, cerulean blue, I'll put it down right here, so I have a white space so that we can see what that's supposed to be. Well, thank you for joining me today on my YouTube channel. I cannot tell you how fragrant this bush is, this lilac bush. It's a Miss Kim lilac, and the fragrance is just wafting in my direction. And the good news is this bush is not 30 feet or 25 feet from my studio window. So every spring I'm going to be able to enjoy it. And look at what else is enjoying it right now. You can hear the bees too. It's a little late in the day, and we've got a little overcast cloudiness going on, so I think a lot of the butterflies that are normally here are making their way to safer grounds just in case a storm comes, because it looks like that's what's going to happen. But I still see them flying around. Every time I point the camera somewhere, they fly somewhere else. But there are tons of them on the bush here, and they've been on here all day. They're just about gone by now. They've been blooming for about a week and a half, and it's been very hot, so it kind of makes the blooms go by quicker, but it releases the fragrance a lot more when it's warm. So there's a double-edged sword with that, but very enjoyable all the same. This is that magical time of night when white flowers look really brilliant, and in June the lightning bugs are out. They just twinkle in the darkness. It's amazing. It's just, there's just something so magical about it. I don't know if you can see, if we can see down the road. You can see a whole bunch in the distance. Usually they're in the meadows and in the forest. Yeah, not much in the road, more in the grass and the trees. Well, there's a few down the road you can see. Let's see this way. If there's anything down this way. It's just the last little bits of daylight left. It's about 9 o'clock at night. You don't hear very many crickets, though. Just magical. It's one of the amazing things of summer. I hope this was interesting and exciting and fun, and I hope I didn't encourage you to go out and buy a whole bunch of things, but it's interesting, I find, to watch these videos and see what the actual colors are, so I don't make mistakes and hopefully save money, and maybe I'll save you money, and that's how I can look at it, rather than making you want to buy more things, because we don't need more things. You can make beautiful art with what you have, and we all should be using what we have. In fact, I challenge you right now to go in your pile of art supplies, take out something you have not tried or have not used in a long time, and use that today. In the meantime, I will see you next time on this channel. Keep painting, give it a thumbs up, and like it if you liked it. Leave me a comment, and I will see you next time.